scroll nicht, und wenn das Herz auch bricht.
So we are writing with the Faber-Castell Loom. Medium steel nib. Our ink for today is Diamine, and that is how it's properly pronounced. Diamine Oxblood, which I think is a really cool ink color. It's almost sort of a reddish brown, or a brick red maybe. Might be kind of hard to tell in this lighting, but I think it's an excellent color. It works really well for me. I think it's beautiful. I have had some start-stop issues with this pen, but I suspect that might just be because I have not grown accustomed to the sweet spot on it, and I tend to roll my hand sometimes when I write, especially if I'm extending my arm out, and it does tend to happen more the further away from my body I get. And I am sitting sort of to the side here to give you this unique view, which I thought I would try out. Just a lot of people are used to seeing things from the top down, and I just kind of like the near far Grover approach to writing sometimes and see how it is. Anyway, if you guys don't like it, let me know and I'll come up with a new solution. But overall, I'd say that this writes pretty smoothly. It does not require much pressure at all. As a matter of fact, I would say that it does not like pressure. If you just lightly put it on the page, it's very smooth. You barely have to, as a fountain pen should work, you should just be able to just guide the pen. And it just glides, guide for glide, glides across the page very well. And if you tend to push down on your nibs too much, it will write, but you'll hear more of a scratchy sound there. And it will get feel toothy. And you'll get quite a bit of feedback in that instance. So if you tend to press too hard on your pens, I'm not worried about it in the sense that it's a very sturdy nib. So I don't think it will easily spring. So that's a good thing. But if you don't like toothiness, but you have a tendency to push down hard, you might need to go with a gold nib. Something a little bit softer that you can use, although you don't really want to spring a softer nib either. So basically learn to write well with a fountain pen. I have to say that writing with this is really fun. I've really enjoyed it. I think the quality of the materials is excellent. This is, very weighty pen in the sense of, for its size, it's got quite a bit of heft. It's not that long per se, but it is heavy for its size, which I tend to like. I have relatively small hands, but I do like a little bit of weight to my pens. And this nib, if it'll focus, is a medium. This some people might worry about. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I would like that at all. The metal tends to be slippery on a lot of pens, but these ridges do work well. And it doesn't really feel all that metallic. It almost feels, I don't know if it's a coating or what it is, the paint itself, but it's really not bad at all. And I love this cap. I think this cap, in many ways, makes the pen. It's got a beautiful logo etched into the side. This clip is amazing. It's got a really nice spring to it. So you can really, you know, it is jointed. So you really can do well with clipping it onto things because of this spring-loaded action here. Which makes it feel very sturdy as well. And I'm sorry for the video quality. I'm not really a videographer, as you can tell. In this cap, it's really nice. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. This pen, I think, can be written with or without being posted. I just tend to prefer posting pens if I can. I don't like trying to keep track of the caps, you know, having them sort of get brushed aside accidentally or whatever, and if I need to recap it quickly to go do something else, then I don't want to have to go searching for it and like, well, where did I set that down? It might seem small to some people, but I tend to be absent-minded. And I kind of like the look of it writing that way. To me, I want to be able to keep the cap and the pen together, and so I just prefer to post. And if I can't, I consider that a negative in a pen. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this review. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I did do a lot of research before I bought this pen, and I heard a lot of great things about it. And while at first I did find it to be a little bit toothy, once I corrected my own handwriting technique, it very quickly became a very excellent writer. I do think it runs in the slightly dry side. I've seen different people say dry, other people say it's very wet. I wouldn't say it is dry in the sense, I mean, you get a pretty good amount of ink down, but it is not what I would consider to be wet, which some people love. I think it's a very good happy medium on the slightly dry side, which is great when you're using junk paper. And I think, you know, I used it on this standard yellow pad the other day, and there was no bleed through at all on this junk paper. As you can see, no bleed through. You can see it from the light, but there is no ink that came out on the other side, and this is just junk paper I bought in bulk. So it's excellent, I think, daily writer that can be used for many different things, and I would highly recommend this pen for someone starting out. It's just an excellent pen. It really is, and I'm glad I bought it. I love the color. It does come in other colors. You kind of have to decide for yourself what you like, what nib size you like. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know what I can improve on. If you'd like to see any other particular pens, if you want to support the channel to help me accomplish that, I'd appreciate it. If not, just enjoy and keep on writing. I've found that it's a lost art that's a lot more satisfying than people will think. And fountain pens can help one appreciate that again. I used to hate writing. My hands would cramp up. I'd get blisters all over my fingers, especially right here on my middle finger. And since I've gotten into fountain pens, I don't find that to be the case. I look for excuses to handwrite now, and love it. And it has made me actually focus more on what I've been writing, and has been a wonderful thing to sort of reacquaint myself with. I've always hated my own handwriting, and it has drastically improved. You can tell it's not great, but this actually is better, if you can believe it. You know, I do find myself trying different fonts and things out, and well, that's a horrible A. That's exactly why, you know, you just try out different things. You know, especially names or letters in my name. You know, that's not my last name. It's sort of an inside joke that only some people might understand, de Klubach. If you do know, go ahead and write it. Write your thoughts on what de Klubach is a reference to. Take care.